Hey everyone, my name is Hisham and today I'm going to show you how to set up a React project using Vite. The first thing you're going to do is go to vitejs.dev and then you're going to click Get Started, scroll down, and you're going to copy this command. Make sure you have the npm section enabled. I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste it in my terminal. Now in my case, I use the Windows terminal. If you don't have it enabled by default, then you can install it from the Microsoft Store. Now I'm gonna hit enter, wait for it a bit, and I'm gonna have to choose a name for my project. In my case, I'm gonna call it the React Modern Tutorial. I'm gonna hit enter, and then I'm gonna have to choose a framework. In our case, we use React, so I'm gonna choose React and hit enter, and then I'm gonna choose JavaScript. I will have a different playlist in the future for how to use TypeScript, but for now we're gonna have to use JavaScript. And voila, now we have a React project setup. I'm gonna cd into that project. cd stands for like change directory. I'm gonna cd and I'm gonna hit npm install. Now what npm install does is it installs all the required dependencies that we need to run the project on our computer. And like I said previously, npm is the node package manager, but you can think of it as an app store but for code, where in our case the apps are called packages. Okay, so our packages are done installing. Now we can simply type npm run dev and our React app should start on port 5173. If I click this link, then it's going to open up a React app, and this is the default React application with Vite. So you can see we have a couple of logos and we have a counter that when you click on it, it increases by 1. Now, if we go back, I'm going to hit Control C. And now I'm going to actually open the project in VS Code. If you haven't installed VS Code, then you can just type VS Code in Google, and I'm going to include the link in the description of the video. Now I'm simply going to type code space dot. Now code simply tells the terminal to open VS Code, and the dot means to open it in our current directory. I'm going to hit enter and VS Code should open up. Now as you can see, we have our project set up, and on the left these are all the files and the folders that have been created by Vite. Now the first thing is the package.json file. Now what this file does, it simply contains some information about our project, but the most important thing is the dependencies. As you can see, we have React and React DOM installed, and some development dependencies to help us with our development environment, and also some scripts to run the application and build it. After that, this file contains the Vite configuration. It simply sets up the React plugin for Vite so we can develop React very easily. And then we have the index.html file. Now this is a basic HTML file. This is the root of our app. Like I said previously, React is a single page application framework, which means it has one HTML page and it changes the content of that page programmatically using JavaScript. Now if I open up the source folder, we have the main.jsx file. Now this file bootstraps the entire application. As you can see, we import React. We have React and React.dom. We have our application file, so I'm going to open up in a second. We have our CSS file. What this code does is it instantiates React. As you can see, it gets the element that has the ID of root, which we have declared in our HTML file right here. Now inside that div, it's going to render this React component. Now I'm going to focus on the application component. This is it. And as you can see, what this does is it's a simple function. So this is like the basic concept of React. It's all a simple function that returns JSX. Now, as you can see, this looks a lot like HTML, but it's really not HTML. It's called JSX. It's a special syntax that's been created in order to work within React, but it's not React exclusive. You can actually use JSX with other frameworks. Now, as you can see, we do have a few warnings or errors, but we can ignore those for now. Now, our project supports hot reload, and what hot reload does is instantly update your application as you change the code. So the first thing we're going to do is start up our React application again. So I'm going to type in npm run dev. Now our application is going to start. As you can see, we have Vite plus React and a counter. So right now, for example, I'm going to change the title to React tutorial. I'm going to hit Control S. And as soon as I hit Control S, the interface is going to get updated. So Control S, go back to the browser, and as you can see, it changed instantly. And it actually changed without reloading the page. So this gets updated in real time. So as you can see, we do have a bunch of styles already applied to the project. We can find those in our index.css file and our app.css file. Now these files are currently imported in the main.jsx file and in the app.jsx file. So for example, if I comment this out and I save, you can see that the CSS is no longer applied and everything is on top of each other. Now I'm going to go back, I'm going to re-enable the import, and it looks good again. Now the next thing is we have a gitignore file. So what this does is it basically ignores certain files that won't be pushed to the cloud. We also have an ESLint file. Now what this file does is it contains certain rules to make sure that our code is up to standard and that we don't write bad code. We also have our assets folder. As you can see, we have a React SVG, which is actually the logo that's being displayed here. If we go to the code and app.jsx, then you can see that we have the React logo that's being imported from the assets folder and then set as the image source. The same thing goes for the Vite logo, except it's being imported from the public folder right here. Now I know that I talked about a bunch of different things in this video, but I promise that things will become more clear as I walk you through the rest of the videos in the playlist. And in my next video, I'm gonna talk to you about components, what they are, and how to create them. So see you in my next video.